Black men. A lot of black men who like white women.
What up though, YouTube family? Welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy Joe, and this is the Black Male Progressive channel. Before we get started quickly, I'd appreciate it if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Now, we gonna have the brother O'Shea Du Jackson. Please come to the front of the congregation. We have a conversation needs to be had.
She's willing to accept a black penis. So because she accepts a black penis, she's not racist.
You know what, O'Shea? I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you and black folks like you who get on these platforms and speak as if you know what the fuck you're talking about. Speak as if you've read a book. I'm not saying that black people don't read books. Of course, I'm not saying that. That's ridiculous. I'm saying sometimes content creators like this goofy ass nigga get on these platforms and just start running off at the mouth with all this fucking verbal diarrhea with absolutely no clue as to what the fuck they're talking to or talking about or the reasons why these things are occurring in the first fucking place. And it is beyond frustrating from somebody who claims to be intelligent and serious about creating content. But I'm not going to be vague, not with this video, not at all. I'm going to be very specific, and we about to get into that. So let's move on to the next clip.
She's doing things with black people. She's not racist. But you never see Just Pearly Things reviewing clips of those people who've also had a history of, let's say, something similar to slavery. Let's say like what we call the untouchable community.
Stop trying to bring other groups of people into our fucking business, you weak ass nigga. Stand on your own too. We don't have to have a fucking oppression Olympics every time we feel slighted. Stand up for what you think. Stand up for your ideas. Stand up for what you believe in, you fuck boy. God.
She never talks about that, does she? She won't pull up a clip talking about that. Or let's say the Muslim community with the 9/11 thing, or LGBTQ. She never says something about sad music, LGBTQ community this, don't clip me.
No, before I get into this next part, let me just say this because I know it's gonna come up eventually. Someone's gonna try to make it sound like I'm some type of racist against my own people, or that I don't know, I have some untoward affinity towards what we call Caucasians. Like, that's goofy. Anyone who knows me knows that could not be any further from the actual case in actual real life. However, I pride myself on my ability to think, to rationalize. Okay, so having said that, at this point in the video, Mr. Jackson, as you can see on the screen, is showing a clip from one of Pearl's videos. A clip that shows Pearl, her friend, whom I can't remember her name right now, but I do know it, and her friend are reviewing and reacting to a video by an actual black historian by the name of Thomas Sowell. This man has spent decades and decades lying to American conservatives about the reality of American history. That is this man's job, okay? That is this man's actual job. And I came with receipts.
Those parts of the third world that the imperialists have never touched are, almost without exception, the very poorest places on this earth.
So you don't find any explanation for poverty and colonialism? The reverse, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. That when the Romans, for example, invaded the British Isles, they conquered the southern part of Britain. but they never conquered Scotland. And for centuries thereafter, perhaps for 1,000 years thereafter, Scotland was far behind England in economic and cultural development, because England had the advantage of tying into the whole Roman civilization, and everything that it had created, to some extent, percolated down through the British. That doesn't mean the British were happy with the Romans being there. You know, 1,000 years later, Trajan could say, we owe London to Rome.
What do I mean by that? Well, the American education system is all over the place. And this problem didn't start recently with the whole anti-CRT thing, right? This has been a long, ongoing thing where you have had the conservative movement just continuously with a steadiness of effort that is truly admirable to whitewash American history. Now, this doesn't happen in all American school districts, but it happens in many majority white school systems where American children are being taught flat out lies, but mostly half lies and mistruths. Okay? Half lies and mistruths, so that they can feel better about themselves. So, why would a very well-educated man like Thomas Sowell do something so despicable, so disadvantageous to his own community? Well, that's very simple. Black people like Thomas Sowell have dedicated their lives to convincing black people to rejoin the Republican Party and the conservative movement. Now, this task is made far more difficult because there are so many people in the Republican Party who aren't comfortable with dealing with black people at all, but more importantly to this conversation, are extremely uncomfortable with dealing with what actually happened in America during the age of slavery and its adjacent form, Jim Crow. Because frankly, they have been taught to believe that black people in America are better off because of slavery. And that is the truth. Many white Americans are being taught that black people all over this country, the black people who are the descendants of slaves, should be happy that the results of the institution of slavery is black people being in America, being Americans, and that's how many white folks honestly feel. However, it is almost impossible to convince black people to take their side in the political realm having that attitude, while at the same time black people having an accurate understanding of the past. So, do I think Pearl was wrong? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely 1000% yes, without a doubt or reservation. However, I understand that Pearl was educated in a racist system that is aided and abetted by black conservatives. So I understand where her misunderstanding comes from. And frankly, so do clowns like Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson is very aware of American history. Mr. Jackson knows this history. He knows who Thomas Sowell is. That's why, if you notice, even though he talks about the reaction video she made, he never brought up Thomas Sowell. And that is disingenuous, and that is wrong. And I'm a progressive. I'm not a fucking conservative. However, if we are ever going to come to a understanding and agreement in our society, we have to work and speak in a way that is genuine to one another. And that's the only way this shit gonna work.